Hello friends, this is Jeannie from Metal Dollhouse Rescue. Welcome to my doll room. I'm excited tonight. I've got something fun I want to work on. I am starting a new project. Now you tell me, what's the best part of a project? When you start and you're full of excitement, when you're at the end and you get to wrap it up, or is it the process throughout? Well, I don't know. It's hard to decide. I like all three. But tonight I'm excited because I'm starting a new project. And it is my 1951 Cohn house. Now this house is in pieces right now. So I'm going to do the whole thing. I'm going to do it in sections, not all at once. But I'm going to clean it and I'm going to inspect it. And I'm going to polish it. And I'm going to do a little repair on it. And I'm going to then eventually assemble it. And it will be just, like better than new because it will have some history to it and some of my personal effort put into it. Now, Cohn, the way I understand it, made a variety of houses, but they made three that were kind of a Spanish style with a red roof, looked like a red tile roof and red brick walls. They made the first one in 1948, which is a larger house. It's more of a 1/16 scale. Then in 1951, they made one a little bit smaller scale, but it had more rooms. It's got two patios on it, and it is famous for having a little garage and a little garage door on the side of it. And then I don't know the year for the third one, but it's much like the 1951 model, but it only has one patio and it does not have the garage. So I do not have one of those. I do have a 1948. In fact, I've got two from 1948 that need worked on. And then this one from 1951. So my goal is to get this 1951 one perfect, or as nice as I can make it. It will stay in my own collection. So let's take a look at it and see what needs to be done. Here it is, my 1951 Cohn house. Now, when I bought this house, it was already put together and it was not in too bad a shape. However, I wanted to photograph all the walls, so I took it apart and photographed all the walls, and those are ready to go. So what I'm going to do now is, I kind of put the cart before the horse. Now I'm going to clean it, touch up any paint that I've missed, and reassemble it. Now, here's my confession. This is the first time that I've actually, I'm putting a house together kind of from scratch. So I'm going to let you watch me on the process as we do that. I'm sure this is going to take several sessions. There's Grandma keeping an eye on me. This house, like I said, is in pretty good shape. It came with the missing garage door. Here's where the garage door goes. It has a door that opens and shuts there. I have that door, and part of my process will be to put that back on. It was missing this wall, but Linda was good enough to give me a nice picture of her wall. So as part of my restoration, I'll be replacing that wall. I'll be using a piece of foam core board and put the picture on that she shared with me, and that will be good as new. I do have the other walls. There's very little damage, very little missing paint. There's a little bit here, a few scratches, so I'll be getting those touched up. This is like a utility room, I think. See, the front part of the garage. This is the living room. The door was included when I bought this house. It was not attached. These doors, they have a little metal hook up here that hooks into a little tiny metal slot or hole. It is common that those little metal hooks are broken off because they're very fine and they're kind of hard to get poked in there. So I have replaced those metal hooks with kind of a paper clip apparatus that runs down the inside of the door, and then the top of the paper clip goes through that little tiny slot, so the door does open and shut just exactly fine, and it should be pretty durable. I don't have to worry about those little hooks breaking off. They are already broken off. But here you can see the little tiny slot that those hooks are supposed to fit into. In this case, I've got paper clips instead. But look at the cute graphics on the wall, the pretty colors, the nice floor. Look at there in the kitchen, how cute that is. Grandma's ready and anxious and willing. The windows are off of this, but I do have the windows for this house. They're the metal X lattice type windows for the two gaps, that one. And then in the living room. And then these windows are complete as they are with just a little metal framework in them. So those two are complete, but the other two are missing. And I do have those, so I'll get those on there too. So right now, tonight, I'm going to clean this house up. And just a review on how I like to clean my houses. I like to go over them first with rubbing alcohol, and I always squirt right on the paper towel rather than on the house. And that keeps water or moisture from getting back here in the cracks, which will help to prevent rust. Now I do have the rest of this house, but we're going to start with the first story. We're going to get it cleaned up good, probably do the paint on it, paint touch-ups, and then we'll do the walls, and then we'll work up into the upstairs story, and then ultimately we're going to get it put back together. Should be perfect, or as good as can be. All right, got my paper towel and this is rubbing alcohol in my bottle. The rubbing alcohol will remove any oils from fingers. It will remove dust. It will remove some spots. It just gives you a nice clean surface free of oil and grease and fingerprints and dust. And then we're going to go over it quickly with my other favorite cleaner, which is Awesome Cleaner, and I've got a bottle of that here also. I mentioned I've got Grandma here watching me. I've also got a couple of things here I want to point out. When I take pictures, a lot of times I'll tape a tape measure up here, and I did that, and look, I left a little bit of tape up there, so we'll remove that as we go, and I think there's a piece right down here also. Let's get a new paper towel in order to use the Awesome Cleaner. Again, I spray right on my paper towel. I turned it around so we can work on the outside. Let's get Grandma up here. I don't want to knock her over, but she likes to watch. These are beautiful, beautiful houses, beautiful, beautiful colors. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like the Cohn houses don't seem to fade as much as some of the other ones. Maybe this one's been protected. I don't know. Of course, I got this off of Facebook Marketplace, and I had to drive. This one gets the prize for the longest drive. I think we drove about 2 hours to pick this up. I'm going to change paper towels. Look at, I can't believe really how much dirt is coming off. Let's do the outside again. First, I'm going to start with my rubbing alcohol, and then I'm going to switch over to the Awesome Cleaner from Dollar Tree. I've turned the house upside down because of the camera angle. That way you can watch me do this side of the house, and also you can see these tabs where the garage door will be. These are bent in inappropriately. Those will need to be bent back and straightened out some so I can actually attach that garage door. But I don't have the garage door out here on my work table tonight, so we will do that another day. Tonight we're just going to wipe it all off, first with alcohol and then with Awesome Cleaner. I'm actually washing off the bottom of the house. Now, as I'm washing that, it's getting a little, the paint's coming off on there. I think that's paint rather than glue. So always keep an eye on your rag and be very, very gentle when you start removing the actual paint, especially where you've got pretty lithographics. Now, the bottom of this house is just a dark, almost black color. So I really just want to clean it so it's not real grubby. I mean, it's hard to tell because it was black. So it's hard to tell how grubby it might have been. And usually the bottom of things don't get as dirty as the top. I mean, they don't collect dust and so on. But we're going to give it a quick wipe off as long as we're here. But I am going to be careful because it looks like it's kind of taken the paint off just a little bit there. I didn't really intend to do very much with assembly tonight, but I see the floor is really kind of coming off. So for the sake of stability, I'm going to go ahead and put these tabs in. The tab on this far end, which the camera doesn't come down far enough to see, but I'm talking about this end down here, is inserted. But the next one here is not inserted, and this one here is not inserted. This one here is not inserted, so as I pick it up, that floor is wanting to come up out of there. Now, it looks to me like originally these tabs were all bent and folded down, but I like to have them kind of alternating. So as I put it back together, I'm going to have the one on the far end here, this one down here that's already in, I'm going to leave it down. The next one I'm going to bend it up, and the next one I'll probably put down, and next one up, and then the one on the far end I'll leave it down. So I'm going to work on that next. I've got my tool. I like to use a steak knife or a butter knife. And again, remember, try to avoid scratching your pretty lithographs. And I'm putting it right there in the slot, and I'm going to guide that tab through there. Now that it's through, I'm going to bend this one up because I think that will give it a little more stability to have some of those down and some of those up. Now, of course, it'll be more stable when the walls are in there, but this will still improve that stability too. So I get under it, gently pry it up, and then if I can't get my finger under there to bend it, I'll get a needle nose pliers and bend it down that way. I've got the floor sturdied up, but I managed to knock my door off, so I thought I would show you this door. You can see perhaps I have added a paper clip down here in the bottom. It's a little bit of a hook shape, and there's another part of the paper clip up here that's another hook shape, hook down, and those just go in those little bitty slots, and then that door would just kind of hang there with those little paper clips holding it in. So it's fairly easily removed if you want it removed. It's not permanently attached, but it does open and shut normally if I'm not turning the house upside down and so on. It works just fine. Let's get Grandma up here and she can keep an eye on me. There we go. See if we can get those hooks back in there. I got it. That took a little more than I thought it would because I had to straighten that paper clip out a little bit, then insert it and then bend it back down with my needle nose pliers. But we've got it hanging back on there again. Pretty secure. I don't think it'll fall off. I've also got that floor tacked in there really nice now and secure too with those tabs bent over with every other one bent the other way. I think that's all I'm going to do tonight. So when I come back next time, hopefully I can get this paint touched up, and I think this part of the house will be good to go. Just a little bit of paint over here in the front part of the garage. There's a few scratches, and maybe just a few little scratches or dots over here in the kitchen also, just while I have it apart. But it's nice and clean. There's no rust. I think it's going to be a beautiful house, and I cannot wait to get it further along. Thank you for joining me. Talk to you later.